When club hierarchies and managers fall out, it's often about transfers. Managers want autonomy over the players in the team. Owners, chief executives and directors have different ideas about what is best for the club. Their motives are often different, and sometimes directly opposed. A manager will seldom directly benefit from a club making a profit in a transfer window. His aim is simply to win matches, whether to qualify for Europe or avoid relegation. His superiors at the club care about the on-pitch success, of course, but making or losing money will be directly relevant to their job security. This is clear when a manager is targeting players who are in their late 20s or early 30s. Clubs might see them as assets that will only lose value, while a manager sees a player who can win him matches right now. Conflict is inevitable while managers expect control of transfers. The days of managers lasting years at a club, or even decades, are a thing of the past. And with that, the way player recruitment is thought of has to adapt. The approach to transfers is yet to catch up with the change in managerial culture. If a manager has less than 10% chance of lasting beyond 2 seasons at a club, giving them complete control of transfers is reckless. 13 of the 20 Premier League clubs have changed manager at least once since the end of the 2015-16 season. Chelsea are a fine example of this. The Blues are notorious for their ruthless treatment of managers. Each new boss wants backing in the transfer market, costing the club hundreds of millions. At times, this saw decisions made one summer that directly contradicted what was done just the year before. Giving each manager a free rein to recruit as they wished was costing vast sums of money, only for that manager to then be changed within 2 seasons. It was immensely inefficient. The club have begun to alter their approach. It contributed to the downfall of Jose Mourinho's second spell and will likely see the end of Antonio Conte. But Chelsea are making a move towards the club rather than the manager having control over transfers. As long as clubs like Chelsea continue to change managers at this rate, this is the sensible solution. Managers themselves are reluctant to remain at a club for a long period, and that means that they must relinquish some power. They still deserve a say as part of a transfer committee or working with a director of football. It just requires a collective decision that can balance the short-term aims of the man in the dugout with the long-term aims of the boardroom. Forward planning is seldom heard of in football. The financial freedom clubs have contributes to this, but it also means there are wild errors made across these enormous businesses, particularly in the grotesquely wealthy Premier League. Clubs should be looking to limit the wasted cash, or at least do a better job of it. Reining in the manager's freedom in the windows is the clearest way to do this. Signing players because your manager, who may well not be with you next season, wants them, makes no sense. Having a committee make the decisions on squad building enables a club to work towards a framework. In some cases, managers will warrant a greater say in their playing staff. The vast majority of the time though, there is not sufficient certainty in the manager's future to deserve that. Conte, for instance, has never been clear about staying with Chelsea long term, so why would they let him build the team as he wants? Managers who are clearly committed to a club for multiple seasons justify a stronger voice in the discussion. Jurgen Klopp is a good example, but even he should not be allowed a stranglehold over arrivals and departures. Clubs controlling player recruitment works in other sports. There is no reason it would be anything other than an improvement in football too. The cultural adaptation for managers is the greatest challenge to such a change. Even the men in the dugouts might be on side when they realise it gives them someone to share the blame of underachievement with. Constructing squads that strike the balance between success this season and in 5 years requires an expert. Whatever the title they are given, football clubs can only benefit from a general manager type position taking charge of player recruitment and planning.